Have you ever looked at a piece of music and wondered what all those circles and lines are all about? Well, today we're going to learn how to read music, and by the time we're done, you'll be able to write a melody just like Mozart. So, we are going to talk about what makes up the musical staff, the two basic clefs that you can use, what ledger lines are all about, some basic rhythms, and what makes up a good melodic line. So let's get started. The musical staff is made up of 5 lines and 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. We use both lines and spaces with music. So I put the notes on here. Notice that it's on the line, space, line, space. As you go higher on the staff, the pitch gets higher. When you go lower on the staff, the sound gets lower. If you start on an E and go up the alphabet, you can come up with the names of the notes. So E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Now there's 2 different clefs here. This clef is called the treble clef. It's also called the G clef because this part of the clef circles this line. This line is a G. So you could figure out what the rest of the notes are by counting backwards. So this is a G. On the space would be an F. So that note would be an E. But there's an easier way to do this, and more entertaining, I think. So if you use this phrase, every good boy deserves fudge. I like that one because I love chocolate. So the minute you start talking about fudge, I'm happy. So every starts with an E. This note is an E. Good starts with a G. This is a G. B, D, F. Now for the spaces in the treble clef, use the word face. F, A, C, E. So this is an F, this is an A, C, and an E. Now if you wanted to know the names of the notes for the bass clef, it's slightly different. For the lines, you can use grandma, buys, dolls, for Alan. I like that one because my brother's name is Alan. And he's one of those guys that drives a pickup truck and has a dog in the back, and he likes to spit out the window. So imagining my brother having dolls to play with, I think is pretty funny. So G, B, D, F, A. And for the spaces, you can use all cows eat grass. Now, of course, if you're going to eat grass, it's going to make you burp. So you have to add the note on the top, burp. So this is A, C, E, G, B. So those are the names of the notes on the staff, and treble and bass clef both. Now, before we can write something, we have to talk about how to extend the range of the staff. What if you wanted a note lower than an E or higher than an F? Then you can use what are called ledger lines. Ledger lines are these lines above and below the staff. So when you try to figure out the name of this note, you take your E and go backwards in the alphabet. So what comes before E? C, D, E. This would be a D right here. And then go back again, because this is lower, it's on a line. So then before D is a C, this is a C. If I keep going, this is a C, this is a B, this is an A, so this note is a G. Of course, above the staff is a little bit easier because you're not going backwards. So the top note, every good boy deserves fudge. That's an F. So this is a G. On the line is an A. Above the line's a B. So that's a C. And the bass clef works the same way. You take the bottom note, go backwards. Take the top note, go forward. So now we need to talk about the rhythm. When you're writing something, there's all different lengths that the notes can last. For example, this is what's called a whole note. A whole note gets 4 counts. Beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is a half note. A half note gets 2 counts. So this is 1, 2, and out of 4 beats in the measure, this is beats 3 and 4. This is a quarter note, and it gets 1 beat. So each one of these is 1 beat. And this is an eighth note. An eighth note gets a half a beat. So 2 of these equals 1 of those. 2 of these equals 1 of those. And 2 of these equals 1 of those. So this is probably the most math you'll get from me. Don't worry. So if you were to sing this, it would be da, 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 dun, 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 dun. So the counting for these is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice there's 4 beats in every measure. So just to review, a whole note is just a circle and it's not colored in. A half note is a circle that's not colored in with a line on it. A quarter note is colored in with a line. An eighth note is colored in with a line and connecting the 2 notes together. So you've learned about the names of the notes, the clefs, how to extend the range above and below the staff, and some rhythms. Now we're ready to write a melody. So what makes up a good melodic line? First of all, you want to be mostly stepwise. By that I mean line, space, line, space. So line, space, line, space. If you put more in between, that's called a leap. You can have a leap, just not a lot. Mostly stepwise. Choose a good shape for your melodic line. It could go up and back down. It could go down. It could go up. But choose a shape first, and then you'll have a nice, coherent line. Also, start and end on the same note. So let's try it. I'm going to use treble clef, and I'm going to start on a C. So this is E, 1 below is D, on a ledger line is C. Oh, put that in the middle of the note. That wasn't very good. And then I don't want to use the same rhythm all the way through, so I think I'll put some eighth notes in there. and I'm going to go up to a C. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I've used up 4 beats in this measure. This makes up a whole measure. I can only have 4 beats in every measure. So I need to give it a bar line. Now I'm ready for the next measure. And I decided for my shape that I want to go up and go back down. So far I'm going up. Not quite ready to come down yet. I'm going to go up a little bit higher. I'm just making this up. You can write whatever you want. Follow these guidelines and it'll work. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Bar line. Now I think I'm ready to start coming back down. Now I used 4 quarter notes. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm almost done. I only want 4 measures. I have 1, 2, 3. I only need 1 more measure. And I want to end on that note, because that's what I started on. And I want my last note to be a little bit long. So I probably want to end with a half note, probably. So I'm on a G. I'm going to go one and 2, 3, 4. And I'm at the end of my little melody, so I put a double bar, which means the end. So there I have a melody that goes up, comes back down. It followed the shape I wanted. It started and ended on the same note, and it's mostly stepwise. Actually, the whole thing is stepwise. There's no leaps anywhere, but you can have some leaps if you want. So let's see what this sounds like. This was on. So there you have it, your own little melody. Now your job is to go home and write one yourself and create your own personal Mozart.